Tuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. It's great to see you, and welcome to our seminar. And the theme of the seminar is about online teaching by Irfan Naufal Wahyu from Universitas Negeri Malang. He is going to explain about the method, the concept of online teaching, and also the impact of the online teaching. And then let's get started. So please welcome Irfan Naufal. The time is yours.
Thank you, Fari. Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about online teaching practices and the effectiveness of the educational process in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. As you can see, the wake of COVID-19 prevents us to do outdoors activities freely. So uh, online media is chosen as the safest way to do things. Education is one of many things that are affected by the wake of COVID-19. So I want to talk about the online teaching method. Online teachings, aka e-learning, is the use of internet technologies to deliver a broad array of solutions that enhance knowledge and performance. So we use internet to learn, find references, study, even practicing something too. Because of the online teaching are relatively new, so I'll talk about its concepts, purposes, challenges, and effectiveness. So the first one is the concepts. The first concept is based on constructivist learning models. So which it's presumed that learners are actively involved in the educational process by developing meaningful learning experiences and interacting with teachers and peers to accumulate and create knowledge. So learner must create their own knowledge by their own experience. The next one is the multiple instructional methods that needs to be used. Online educational process can be done with just using one instructional method. It needs multiple methods to compensate for the lack of physical presence of both teacher and students. So the interaction between teachers and students must be done with multiple instructional methods. The third concept is using asynchronous and synchronous communication in the online environment. Asynchronous communication allows the transmission of messages which can be viewed and responded at any moment of time. So we can read it or watch it anytime we want to. While synchronous communication takes place in real time and participants must be logged online at the same time. The media of online teaching method, the synchronous, we use text chat like maybe a WhatsApp group, which we can use it to discuss in the same time, and then sharing application like then audio conference. So like using Discord or by group call, and video conference by Zoom or Google Meet. While asynchronous, we can use email, chat list, discussion forum, or boards like Google Class, blogs, announcements, shared documents, virtual board, video tutorials, and instant messaging. This asynchronous media can be opened anytime, so that's why it's called asynchronous. These methods have their purposes in online teaching. These methods are to encourage dialogue and interaction between teachers and students. So the learning process will have better result. This method also must make students become motivated to learn. Since online teaching is not as easy as offline class, the student must be motivated to learn. And in online teaching, the students should have sense of community by proposing collaborative or interactive activities that given them the opportunity to share knowledge and also experiences. So they have sense of community they between themselves. So each student can share with each other. But like other teaching system, online teaching also has its own challenge. The first one is the difficulties of finding effective technique in the online environment are hard. Online assessment requires a more ongoing systematic approach rather than traditional one. Online assessment technique are effective if realistic scenarios are used in setting learning objective. Difference in learning styles are considered and students receive adequate support in learning activities and using software. For example, you can use exam, time test or quizzes, self-test, weekly review questions, homework, case study responses, peer evaluation with feedback, project, short essay, group work, presentation, and so on. Then the next one is assessment should be consistent with learning activities. The most important learning outcome that should be tested in online assessment are critical thinking, course knowledge, problem solving, teamwork, and communication. Assessments should be both formative or by monitoring the student's learning progress over the entire course duration from the beginning of the course until the end, and also by summative by evaluating their knowledge and skills acquired at the end of the course, like final exam or something like that. And the next challenge is the lack of proper training for both schools and teacher. Maybe because of the lack of training, instructor may feel uncomfortable to teach, especially if other factors add up to the lack of the training, such as limited technology available at home and insufficient equipment at school or technical problem, especially when the people is not trained for the future technology. She or he may be facing a very difficult situation. Teachers also face internal barriers like computer anxiety, fear of technology, and sometimes badly defined roles, as they sometimes consider their role is just teaching and by looking the ICT component as something separate. So maybe they feel like my job is just teach, not to watch over my ICT components. So adding that will make their task and their schedule more busy. And the last one is students may experience isolation feelings. Isolation feelings may impact their confidence level and in the online learning, and that interfere with their sense of belongingness. The students' sense of isolation may also affect how disciplined they are during the online teaching. So because of the online environment, they feel isolated and somehow they feel like not too confidence while doing assignment or by doing group work like that. So how to increase effectiveness in the online teaching method? First one is by using student-centered educational approach because it's an important factor. Teachers may use various approaches to facilitate the technology-mediated education, such as encouraging interaction and collaboration, ensuring that students have a wide pool of activities as well as setting clear deadlines and benefiting from structured course and increased instructor presence, which may prove useful when teaching switch back to a face-to-face setup. And the second one is by using 7 principles stated by Chickering and Gamson, 1987, in online education. The 7 principles is one, facilitating contact between student and faculty academic and non-academic staff. Two, encouraging collaboration between students. Three, encouraging student engagement and active learning. Four, giving meaningful and timely feedback. Five, emphasizing time on task. Six, communicating high expectation. And seven, respecting diverse talents and way of learning. These principles will hold in the context of online education as well. And much of the discussion around the quality of the online education process revolve around this performance criteria. So by using these two it will increase the effectiveness of the online teaching. So there will be less problem if we use this to increase the effectiveness. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Irfan, for your presentation. And from the materials, I can conclude that this current COVID-19 pandemic forced an abrupt switch to online teaching in universities around the world. We therefore conclude that an effective online system is not only the result of an assembly of properly tailored instructional and assessment tools, but more importantly, of the trust of its users, which stems from technological readiness and the overall confidence that the system is functioning towards the intended objective. Thank you, everybody, and I think this is the end of the seminars. You can freely ask if there is a question about the materials, and we will respond about the question in the next episode. Stay safe and see you.